So we are now doing actually constructing the CS amplifier, and our objective will be to find out the voltage gain, the input impedance and the output impedance. So let's find out what we get here. So here we have VDD, and here we have R1 and R2. And then we have capacitances C0, and here you can have a resistance of 10 kilo ohms. We call it as RF. So let us first find out like what is the gain that we are expecting, and then we will. Okay, so here we will have Vs, let's put the values here. 100 kilo ohms, 20 kilo ohms, here we have 5 kilo ohms, here we have 1 kilo ohm, this is 10 microfarads, and then we have two input capacitances. The value is 2 microfarads and CI is 1 micro. This is a MOSFET, not a FET. Please draw the symbol a little bit properly. This is drain, source, gate, and here you have VDS, and here you have your VGS, and the drain current always flows from drain to source. It does not go into C0 or anywhere. So here's what we get: ID, and the same current will flow here. Now you will also require some device parameters. So let's take VTN as 0.4 volts. Then we have Kn, which is 1 milliampere per volt square. Other things you may not require for the time being. So what we have to calculate: AV, Ri and Ro. So if you recollect, the formula for AV was minus Gm R0 parallel to Rd parallel to R. Now here lambda is not given. So we will say assume lambda equal to 0. So if lambda equal to 0, then R0 tends to infinity, and if R0 tends to infinity, then AV becomes minus Gm Rd parallel with R. So we can see Rd, we can see RL, but we don't have the value of Gm. So to calculate Gm, the formula for Gm is something like this. Gm is to Kn into Vgs minus Vtn. So what you have to do is first you have to calculate the value of Vgs. You have to calculate the value of Vgs, and to calculate value of Vgs you have to go and calculate ID. So a part of this we actually saw in DC analysis. Let us see how we can actually use that in simulating the CS amplifier. So let's start and do this. So have you copied this much? If yes, write yes in the chat box. So please note these problems are like really important and something similar, or so this problem is taken from book Donald Neiman. So this is these kind of problems also come in the exam. It has been coming over a period of time, so all should be knowing this, at least the method of it. Yes. If done, just write done in the chat box. So we want to design everything, whatever we do. And solving problems is like the best way to understand circuit design. It gives you a feel of how actually things are moving inside. And these concepts become even stronger when you actually hold this device in your hand, mount it on the breadboard, and then see how the device performs. So let's start with the solution. Yes, Kushi, Harsh, have you completed this circuit? Have you taken it down? Once done, write done in the chat box quickly. Okay, so let's go ahead. So let us start with the solution. So right here, solution. So first thing is we have to calculate VGS. So let's, VGS is VG minus VS, and VG would be R2 upon R1 plus R2 into VDD, that is going to be 20k upon 100k plus 20k into 5. So how much is this? So VDD is 5 volts. So can you tell me how much is the value of this? This will be 5 by 6. So it should be 0.8333 volts. Then we have Vs. Vs is simply ID times of Rs. So that is going to be ID into 1 kilo ohm is actually 1000 ohms. So which gives us a rough idea of now what VGS is going to be. So let's say this is step number 1, 2, and then let's say we have 3 here, that VGS is going to be Vg minus Vs, and that is going to be 0.8333 minus ID into 1000. So now the formula for ID is, let me just write it down here. ID is equal to Kn into VGS minus VTN the whole square. So Kn is given to us. The value of Kn is 1 into 10 raised to minus 3, and VGS is not given to us. So that will be VGS minus 0.4 the whole square. This is the value of ID. So now what we'll do is we'll see here, putting 4 in 3. So what we will get here is VGS would be equal to 0.8333 minus 10 raised to minus 3 into VGS minus 0.4 the whole square into 1000. So basically this is a quadratic in VGS. Please solve this quadratic in the way I told you and tell me what is the value of VGS. So actually what you can do is you can substitute like this: VGS plus 10 raised to minus 3 into VGS minus 0.4 the whole square into 1000 minus 0.833 equal to 0. So what you can do is now substitute the entire LHS in the calculator. So you have to substitute LHS or enter LHS in calculator with VGS as the variable, and then press shift solve only once. So once you press shift solve only once, calculator will ask you solve for x, then you will type 100 and press equal to, and you will get one value of VGS. Again you will press shift solve. Go back to the same equation and press shift solve. Again calculator will ask you solve for x, but this time you will put -100 and then you will get VGS2. So whichever value is positive, select positive value. So tell me, what are the values of VGS? Come on. Yes, Mithilesh, absolutely correct. Please post your answers. Solve this. Try to solve. If you are facing any problem, bring it to my notice. I'll help you out. So the values of VGS are 0.7266 or minus 0.9266. So we cannot apply negative VGS to the MOSFET. So we'll always have to go for VGS equal to 0.7266. Now we have got the value of VGS 0.7266 volts. Now we can also get the value of ID, which is 10 raised to minus 3 into VGS 0.7266 minus 0.4 the whole square. What is the value of ID? And similarly, GM would be 2 into 10 raised to minus 3 into VGS minus VTN, that is 0.7266 minus 0.4. There is no square sign. So what is the value of ID and GM? Quickly tell me that. Let's calculate this quickly.
So ID is 10.66 milliampere.
ID is 10.66 milliamperes. Okay. Is it 10.6 or 106?
So 1.066 into 10 to the power minus 4.
No, how come? It should be 106. There is a 10 raised to minus 3 outside also. Your value is correct, but powers are wrong. Yes, others also should solve and tell me, because in the exam you have to solve this. So it will be very nice if you know a proper simulation of this circuit. Should not be very difficult. How difficult is this equation?
So GM is 2.133 into 10 to the power minus 4.
No. Zero. So this is going to be 106 milliamperes, and this is going to be 106.66 microamperes. Yeah, because see, this is in milliamperes, milliamperes per volt square. So whatever value you get it in milliamperes. Okay, I got what you are saying. Okay, this is so we'll just leave it to like this. 0.106 amperes, which is 106 milliamperes. So what is the value of GM?
6.532 into 10 to the power minus 4.
6.53 10 to the power minus 4.
Yes, sir.
So that is 653 10 raised to minus 6. Yes. It's correct. Yes. Now go ahead with the calculation of R1 and R2. So what I am getting is the correct value actually. This is not 106. This is calculate it properly, you are going to get and this we'll see through the simulation. Now comes the value of AV, which is minus GM times of RD parallel to RL. So that will be minus 653 into 10 raised to minus 6 into RD is how much is the value of RD? The value of RD is 5 and RL is 10. So 10 and 5 in parallel, 10K parallel to 5. So 10 into 5 upon 15. So tell me what is the value of gain quickly. Obviously it should be negative.
So minus 2.176 into 10 to the power minus 3.
Yes, so it is minus how much? 2 point. Post the answer in the chat box so everybody comes to know about it. Minus 2 point. It is minus 2 point how much?
So 176.
176. Okay. And obviously Ri will be simply R1 parallel to R2, which is 100K parallel to 20K. So whatever that value is. And R0 is going to be 10K parallel to 5. So whatever that value is. So just tell me what these values are. Yes. What are these values? Be quick in calculating this. I think we have been doing this since long now, series and parallel. So Ri is 16.667 kilos and R0 is 3.33 kilos. So now let us simulate this and check whether we are getting the same thing or not. So this is the circuit that you have to build. Come on, build it. Now here you can see there are two more capacitances, CGD and CGS. Okay, so I have inserted them just to, for the sake of showing you the frequency response. It's not there, it's not a part of your syllabus, but yes, you should, I want to tell you a concept through that. So I'm just writing here what is CGD. CGD is parasitic gate drain capacitance, and CGS is parasitic gate to source capacitance. They don't affect our values as such, but we'll just note it down what they are. So I want you to like properly draw this circuit with the heading single stage CS amplifier and post this in the chat box. Now, when you are putting these sources, so see here, first thing, there are two supplies. One is the DC supply, another one is the AC input. DC supply is okay, you have to just make it 5 volts. And here you will select none. Here you will select none, and here you will write 1. AC amplitude, you will write here how much? 1. And phase is 0, so no need to touch anything else, but just write here 1. So we will see the response of the amplifier. So we have to see 3 responses. We have to see dot OP, we have to see dot AC, and we have to see dot tran along with dot measure commands. So first you put like this in the chat box, then we will see. Transient, you can just say 3 millisecond, and here the AC, you can give a sine input. Their amplitude you can keep as 50 millivolts. Frequency will keep 1 kilohertz for test purpose. And delay and other things you can just keep it nothing. And just write here DC offset is 0. So I want you all to show me this circuit and post it in the chat box. Now, while you do this, one very important thing I want to show you. In our in our calculation, the value of Kn that is given to us is how much? 1 milliampere per volt square. That is because we are using the equation. So I'll just write here. The equation for current that we are using, or is what is generally given in the books, is like this: Kn into VGS. So actually this creates a confusion. But unfortunately these books were written very long time ago, even when before the spice simulator came. So Kn is equal into VGS minus VTM. This is the equation that we use, or rather we will say books. Okay. But what spice uses is this. The one that I actually showed you in my explanation, that is Kn by 2 into VGS minus VTN, the whole square. This is what spice is. So you can see the difference is of 2. Here Kn is the value of Kn, and if I write here, if I give a command here that Kp is 10 raised to minus 3, actually spice will take it as Kn by 2. It will take half of that. So I don't want spice to do that. I want that my answer should be matching with what I have calculated. So that is why if I expand this further, this is going to be mu n cox W by L upon VGS minus VTN the whole square. So what I can do is I can set this ratio to 2, so that this 2 and this 2 cancels, and I will get the value of Kn as simply 1 milliampere. Otherwise it would become 1 milliampere by 2. So that is the adjustment that we have done using the width and length options of the MOSFET. So we have given the width as 20 microns and length as 10 microns. Okay. Now you can specify that length and width here also, or you can give it through the dot model. It is totally up to you. You can specify it in the model of the device, or you can give it through the dot model. Now why this facility is given? Because many times if there are like 1 million MOSFETs, okay, so I cannot go to all 1 million of them and change the W by L of the transistors. So there has to be a way in which I can change the W by L of all of them. So what I can do is I will name all of them as NMOS, and then I will say NMOS is NMOS, and these are the parameters for them. So that is why these are the two ways in which you can specify the device parameters. If you open this, you can see many more. Okay, so please draw this circuit and post it in the chat box. Don't write these commands. These commands which are there below, don't write them. Only write this dot model. This is a comment. Everything that is in blue is a comment, and this is your circuit. draw the circuit. I will wait here for you, all of you. Do the naming correctly. Name here V in and V out. RL should be 10 kilos. Ensure that the body is grounded and RS is bypassed. You can observe that CGD and CGS values are very small. They are like 1 million times smaller than CI and C0. CI and C0 are in microfarads, but CGD and CGS are in picofarads. So they are 1 million times smaller. They generally affect the high frequency response, but yeah, anyways, let's see this. So quickly post your outputs, only the circuit in the chat box. Sankalp, Mithilesh, Aditya, post your outputs in the chat box. Kushi, come on, do it quickly. So just understand why this W by L is ratio is 2. Now somebody might argue why 20 micron and L is 10 microns. So it's up to you. You may choose it as 20 nanometers and L also as 10 nanometers. That is fine. You can choose it as something else also, 150. That is also fine. So anything that gives us a ratio of 2 can be used. So in the exam, nobody is going to ask you why you took 150. But yes, that if that ratio is not 2, then you are in trouble. Yes, Mithilesh, what is the status? Are you drawing? Have you completed
Yes,
it?
sir, doing.
Okay. Now I will be giving you actually 4 spice files, and these spice files, with the help of this, you can change the value of resistances. You can change the value of the MOSFET. You can change RD, RS, whatever you like. You can give. But these 4 files will be, one will be focused on the transient analysis. Transient means you are plotting your input and output signals with time. The second one will be for like the AC analysis, where you are seeing the variation in the gain at different frequencies. And the third and fourth file will be for calculation of RI and RZ. So that covers the complete analysis of the transistor. And similar circuit we have seen in our biasing also. So you can also do the DC analysis of this. It has DC also. And let me remove certain things out of it. So if you want to do like a plain DC analysis, that is also quite possible. So just convert it to dot OP, and you can see here that uh, your VG is this. So what I can do is, just for the sake of it, I will name the terminals. So this is VG, this is my drain, and this is my source. So, and So if you simulate this thing, you can see that this is VG is VGS, and VGS is 0.833 minus 0.106694. So that difference will come to around what we have calculated. So that's the value of VGS, and VDS also can be calculated. So here we have the value of ID. So you can see that it is 1066 micro. So if you take this 106 by 6 decimals, you can put a 10 raised to minus 6 there. So all these values are pretty much visible here. And what we can do is you can just copy this and right inside this you can just see dot tran, and let's try. Dot tran, sorry. So if I run a dot, I wanted to show you this actually. If I run a dot op command, if I run a dot op command with a dot AC, if I run a dot op command with a dot AC, then I can plot AC as well as DC characteristics together. So you don't have to actually find out VGS by subtracting VG and VS. You can directly get it here. Then you can get your GM. You can see here GM is 6.53 and ID is 106 or 107. Okay, so this is something that you have to know. I will just reiterate on this little bit later also. For the time being, I am closing this, and let me go back to our CS circuit itself. So this is the circuit, and what I wanted to say is, if you see a dot AC command and if you feel like seeing, अरे ID कितना है, GM कितना है, VGS कितना है, if you feel like seeing this, then what you can do is you have to use this copy command, because if you press this directly, the simulation will run. If you press this directly, the simulation will run. And why? Because there is already a dot AC command. So this run means run that analysis. But if you want to run two analyses together, then you have to copy this command. So copy this, get it here, and the second one you can change it dot op, and you can remove all this and just keep dot op. And now if you run, you should be able to get both of them. Yeah, but the problem now is that there is a dot measure also. So if we have to remove this dot measure. So have you understood how to actually find out? Let me check. Sankalp, let me first start.
Yes, sir.
Sankalp, see here, you have to put here like this, 50 millivolts, 1 kilohertz. In your, you have taken this as AC, right? So what you have to do is you have to click on this, select sign, and here you write 0, 50 and 1000. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So everything else is okay. And CS is not named, you can see that. CS la value de.
Yes, sir.
Let's check Harsh. Harsh, here you have to give some value that is the same way 0. Then you write 50 millivolts. Right click on this.
Yes, sir.
Give these values. Sankal, one more. There is here you have taken CGD in microfarads. Make it picofarads. Harsh, sorry.
Yes, sir.
Everybody should post their outputs in the chat box. Come on, quickly do it. Yes. So have you done this? Okay, Harsh. Now we will simulate our circuit using the .tran command. So you all should be writing here like not .ac, but you will be writing .tran. You will be writing only not .ac, but you will be writing .tran. Remove .op and ac if you are written. Just write .tran. That's it. Now, what is the meaning of tran? .tran means you are doing a transient analysis. So, I'm just closing other circuits not required for the time being. So, I'll run this. Now, I want to see input. So, input is 50 millivolts. You can see that. I'll just make the waveform a little bit. So, can you see this now?
Yes, sir.
And now I want to see the output. So output is here across RM. So you can see now that if you expand this and if you use the cursors, then first cursor would get you here. So this is my V in, which is 50, and the second cursor would get you here where your V in. So this is V out at the top, and we have V in here as 50. We have two cursors, cursor 1 and cursor 2. So either you can use 1 or 2, doesn't matter. But if this value you can note, that is 102, and input is 50 millivolts, we know that. So 102 upon 50 will be around 2.1 something. So 102 divided by 50 will be 2.04. So around that much what we have calculated. Now this is at one particular frequency. That means at 1 kilohertz we are getting a gain of what we saw, that is 2.1. Now what if I make it 2 kilohertz, what will be the gain? So now I want to see the variation in the gain. So first of all what you do is you show me this circuit and the waveform, V in and V out. Now dot tran I have written 3. Why? Because here my signal is 1 kilohertz. So the time period of the signal will be 1 milliseconds. So if I see, like, if I write like this, so you can see that one cycle is 1 milliseconds, and if I want to see 3 cycles, then I can write 3 milliseconds here. If I want to see more cycles, if I want to see 6 cycles, so I can again resimulate this and get 6 cycles of the signal. So it's up to you, what you like you do. Okay, there is no hard and fast rule in that. So how many cycles you want to see is totally up to you or the user. Okay, Mithilesh, I can see your output. Come on, others also post this quickly. If you
Sir,
are
when I'm running the circuit, I'm getting a netlist error.
show me your circuit there. Post your circuit.
Sir, I have posted in the chat.
Right now you have posted.
No, sir, not right now.
Netlist error. Okay, let me see. No, first thing is, Harsh, I am seeing your previous circuit. So here your source is not connected to ground. You can see that.
Yes, sir.
So you replace this NMOS by NMOS 4. That is the first thing that you have to do. Then I think it should work. And here, not
Yes, sir. I had did that dot trans.
so that tron curve, you should be able to do.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
Yes, others please post this in the chat box. Yes, Pranav, Tejas, come on, put your output in the chat box.
Sir, I changed it to NMOS 4 and grounded the circuit. Then it is showing the same error.
So now you share the circuit with me and share that error with me.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I got this. See here. Harsh, can you see?
Yes, sir.
So see the error. What it means is duplicated instances name R2. So what I want, not just Harsh, but to everyone listen to this, that as an engineer we should be also be able to read the error in a by using our common sense. So duplicated instance R2 means what? Something has got repeated. Can you see something has got repeated? So what it means is, you can see here, it has also shown you what has got repeated R2. So where is R2 is here, right? But I think when you build the circuit, you copied RD from R2. So can you see here?
Yes, sir.
So you have named two resistances with the same name. So Spice does not understand which value of R2 it should take.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, Sankalp here. Sir,
Yes.
my V out is coming different. It is coming straight line.
Let me see.
I have posted in chat box.
I'll tell you what the problem is. See here. Sankalp, are you there?
Yes, sir.
See here and here, where this intersection point of RD, CGD and C0. So when you don't see this dot like this, na, that means there is no
Hello, sir.
connection.
You are not audible.
Okay. Am I audible to everybody else?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Sankalp, see here, what you have to do here is, you can see the intersection point here of, can you see this part?
Yes, sir.
Here, see, when you connected, when there are three branches, you get a node, right?
Yes, sir.
Like this, here there are four branches. In one branch there is RD, in one branch there is C0, in one branch there is CGD. But there is no node here. That means this point is not connected. So you delete these branches and you connect this point here.
Okay, sir.
So you should get something like this. See here. You should get these points like this. Are you
Yes,
getting?
sir. Yes, sir.
So there is some kind of short circuit, and that is the reason why your output is getting grounded straight away. That
Yes,
is
sir.
why you're getting it as 0. Yes, good, very good. So you should ask doubts. In this doubt also there is lot of learning, because now Harsh pointed out one error, even Sankalp pointed out one error. So there was an error of related to node, there was an error related to a double naming. So this is what I want you to note down, everybody. This is where what you have to take care of. Good. I think Harsh, your query is resolved, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, good. So answer is okay, but the process that you are going through is slightly more important for you. You should go through the process of getting wrong and then correcting. And that is where the learning happens. Of course, you should not go wrong in the exam. There you are not going to learn anything, but you are being tested how much you have learned. Otherwise, you will use the same approach, and if you get less marks, your parents will ask you, why did you do this? Then you will say, Akhil sir has told us to do like this. So that should not happen. Good. So I think most of you are now comfortable with the dot tran analysis. Okay. Now I'll remove this command from the dot measure command from this. Anyways, it's useless in this. Now what I'll do is, now everybody should do like this. Copy this dot tran once like this using this copy button, and then you select your dot op, their dot op. So you should be able to see dot op and dot tran together. Oh, sorry, don't do this here. Sorry, it's my mistake. Dot op doesn't work with that. Okay, just leave it like this. Yeah. Now, what we will do is, instead of doing transient analysis, we'll do a frequency analysis. Frequency analysis means what? you can see here the source is 1 kilohertz, right? Now your question might be इसको 2 kilohertz किया तो क्या होगा? So my answer to that will be okay. ठीक है, करो. Simulate this and see the input and see the output. Okay, so I saw it. Now again I can measure the gain and you can see it is 102 or something like that. So the gain is the same. Now my question is that if I tell you to do this for 1 million frequencies, because our voice has got a range of frequencies, and when I'm speaking on the microphone, my all the frequency components of my voice should reach the other end or should get amplified in the same proportion. If that does not happen, then my voice will seem different to you. So it may happen that when we actually speak in person, my voice may appear different to you. And when I am speaking over the phone to you, my voice may appear different. Now this is because not all the frequency components of my voice are getting amplified in the same way that your ears would actually do. So when I'm talking to you in person, your ears are your amplifying. It's the sensing machine is your ear. And all the frequency components are falling at a time on your eardrums and you can perceive that signal in a certain way. Now similarly, if I do the same thing over a medium, which we are doing right now, I am speaking in front of a microphone, my voice is getting amplified and it is reaching you. So if you like compare, if you do signal processing and if you like do voice A minus voice B, you will definitely get some residue. And that is because of the frequency response that the amplifiers used offer to the signal. Now, like this, how much I will do? 2 kilohertz. ऐसा मैं कितना करूँगा? It will be a big task for me. So what Spice says is, okay, don't do this. Instead of doing this, what you do is you keep the circuit the same. So go for a dot AC analysis. So instead of doing so much, instead of testing the circuit at so many different frequencies, you can write a command and say apply frequency inputs from this range to this range and show me the gain. Now, if you want to do that, so what you have to do is instead of dot tran, you will write dot AC. Instead of dot tran, you will write dot AC and you will select decade, number of points per decade 1000, start frequency 1, stop frequency 100 megahertz and say OK. Now here you are telling Spice to operate at multiple frequencies. So here instead of giving these values, you can just select none. You say here none and here do a small signal analysis with amplitude 1. So now you should be able to see this AC1. So now
So your screen has frozen.
my screen has frozen. Okay. Let me share it. Can you see it now? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now what you will do is you will click on this source, select none and write AC amplitude as 1 and convert that dot tran command to a dot AC command with sweep of decades with number of points as 1000, Start frequency we can write 1 hertz and stop frequency 100 megahertz. So please do this. Don't write these commands. Okay, don't write these commands. I will tell you what this is. So do only this much and post the circuit in the chat box. So you will save the file name with cs underscore amplifier underscore, you can say dot underscore tran, and then do these two changes. Dot tran will become dot AC, and the source, the signal source, instead of a sinusoidal source, you will select now none and set the signal amplitude to 1. 1 means it can be 1, it can be 10, it can be 100, it can be anything. But what we are interested now is in the gain and not the actual input. Okay. So now here, okay, Harsh, you have done it correctly. Now we will simulate this thing. And just say run here. We'll close our previous dot tran circuit. And now you can just plot the output, V out, like this. So on one axis you can see something in dBs, and here you can see phase. You can see like this. Now I will right click on this, on the rightmost axis, that is the phase axis, and I will say don't plot phase. So what you can see is the gain. what you can see is the gain. Now the gain here is, if you just see, if you take the cursor, it is 6.75 dBs. So 6.75 dBs, if I do a quick calculation here, 6.75 is equal to 20 log to the base 10 of AV, which is not in dB. So can you tell me what is the value of AV? Solve this and tell me what is the value of AV. Yes, what is the value of AV? So it should come to 2.1 something. Should come to 2.1.
So 2.170.
2.170. That is okay. Now, why to even calculate this? So what we can do is, so I just wanted to show you how to calculate, but Spice directly shows you the value. So instead, so we have said dB, this axis should be dB. If we make this linear, if we make it linear and then say OK, you can see that the gain is 2.1. Can you see that? Now if you see, using the cursor in the mid band, the gain is 2.1. Okay. So why to plot this in dB? That is the question. Now we need to plot this in dB because we want to do a frequency analysis, like what is the maximum frequency, what is the minimum frequency that we want. So what we have to actually do is like this. I'll show you. Okay, so this max value, is 6.25. Now if we come 3 dB below this, and if we draw a line which is 3 dB below, this line would cut this graph at 2 points. This is the first point and this is the second point. So this first point is called as the lower cutoff and this is called as the higher cutoff, and the difference between them is called as the bandwidth. So bandwidth is nothing but fh minus fn. Now why this is important? Because your voice, if your voice has frequency components, above FH and below FL, you can see the gains are falling at that point. The gains are not stable, the gain has fallen. And that is the reason why it will not give the same treatment to some of your frequencies in the voice. And because of that, your voice may seem different. And that is the reason why when we talk about amplification, the amplifier must have a very good bandwidth. That means it should offer the same gain. It should offer the same gain for a large number of frequencies. And that is the reason why we have to do this analysis. So here, if you click on this and if you come like 3 dB below 6.5, so 6.25 below 3 dB would be something like 3.25. So you can see here magnitude 3.25, and if you just see the frequency here, that is going to be your lower cutoff. So around 23 hertz is your lower cutoff. And if I take the same point on the other side, somewhere here, I can see that it is somewhere in megahertz, 2.73 megahertz. Now the question comes that this is okay, I can estimate the bandwidth, but I can never be very accurate with this system. So first of all, I want you all to show me this circuit and this plot. I want to see the circuit and the plot. Come on, do this. So you will show me the circuit with dB. Mithilesh, remove this phase plot. I want you to learn how to remove it. Remove this. Right click on this and say don't plot phase. Did you get it, Mithilesh? Harsh? Okay, Harsh has done it
Yes.
properly. Okay. Sankalp, let me see. Okay, you have also done it properly. Good. Now I want you all of you, Adarsh, Aditya, Kushi, I want to see your outputs now. Here, all of you now will right click on this leftmost scale and say linear and OK. Say linear and OK. And now show me this circuit with a linear scale. Show me this with a linear scale. Now many of you might have questions that why we wrote here 1. We can write 2 also, na? Okay, let's see, we can write 2, what happens. So if we write 2, you can see here that the gain doubles. The gain doubles. So whatever is my value, the maximum whatever value is, we have to take a half of that. So that is why most of the times we keep this as 1. Yes, we should try all options and see what this is. Okay, I want to see the linear scale also. Yes, correct. So now, as an engineer, you should ask me one question, that you are saying that this is gain. You are saying that this is gain, but the unit is in volts. Aisa kaisa gain? In lecture you told us that gain is unitless. So this observation can you do? Now this value that we are seeing is gain only because my input voltage is 1 volt, is 1. So what I am plotting here is only V out. I am not plotting V out by V in. So that is why SPICE shows this unit as volt. I am not plotting V out by V in, but I am plotting only V out. Now I'll delete this trace. I'll say add trace, and if I write here V out divided by V in, V out divided by V of V in. Now you can see this unit is gone. Can you see? So all of you will now plot V out by V in. Come on. So in the exam, if you plot this and tell me this is gain, I will not accept. Now, if you are plotting V out by V in, whatever may be the value of this, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'll make this 2, okay? And I'm simulating this. You can see it will always be 2. You can see always it will be 2. If I make this 10, again I plot this. Again the same. So now what this value is does not matter, because you are plotting V out by V in. Have you understood this? Harsh, Mithilesh, Sankalp.
Yes, sir.
So this is an observation that you have to make. And while using this tool, this is very important. Now, let me change back my axis again to dB. So you also do this. Again go back to the dB axis. Fine. Now I want an automated way. Now who will go and check again like this with the help of cursor? अरे किधर है किधर है ऐसा ढूंढ नहीं सकते हम. So we have to have a command for that also. So for that we are having a command here. So I have used 3 commands. First command is dot measure. So dot measure is the command. Gain is the variable. GAIN is the variable. So now I am telling SPICE that when you are doing this AC analysis, when you are plotting this plot, note down the maximum value of V out. Note down the maximum value of V out. Are you understanding? Note down the maximum value of V out. So when it is noting down the maximum value of V out, that value gets stored in the variable gain. It gets stored in the variable gain. Now, next thing that I want to calculate is this gain. I want to calculate this point, gain at this point. So this 3 dB means you cannot say minus 3 dB and एक line draw कर. ऐसा we cannot tell SPICE. So we have to give the formula for gain. So if this maximum gain is AV, this point will have a gain of AV by root 2. This point will have a gain of AV by root 2. So now we are telling measure, again the variable is value 3B, that is 3 dB point, param. So I am defining a parameter. So I am using 2 parameters here. I am using gain and I am dividing it with something. So whatever this parameter was there, gain. So I am saying here, use the parameter gain and divide it by square root of 2 and store it in the variable value 3B. So now I am storing not only the gain, not only the maximum value, but also the gain at lower cutoff and higher cutoff frequencies. Now, I want FL and FH. I want FL and FH. So then I write the third statement, that is dot measure bandwidth. Now I have written another command after that, that is trig. Trig means trigger magnitude. Trigger magnitude measurement of V out. Trigger magnitude measurement of V out when the value of 3 dB gain is achieved during rise time. When the value of 3 dB gain is achieved during rise time, and the second part of that is trigger magnitude V out when value 3 dB is falling. Okay, so this is what is the command. Now this command I will give it to you through the chat box so that everybody writes this command properly. So I am giving you this command. Now for this you should name V in and V out perfectly. V in and V out should be named perfectly. Now if I simulate this thing, if you again, even if you add this, you will get this simulation. You can see the plot. But now if you go to view and see the spice error log and see the spice error log, you can see these three lines. So first line is gain. That is the maximum gain is 6.75871 dB. It is given to us and it is from 1 to some frequency. Okay. Here value, the 3 dB gain value, you can see 6.75 minus 3 is going to give you this value. Okay, and bandwidth is, so this is the upper cutoff frequency, this is the lower cutoff frequency. So we were saying it is 23, but actually it is 22 hertz. So there is an error of 1 hertz while measurement, and this is 3.39 megahertz. So now the bandwidth becomes 3.3 megahertz minus 22 hertz, which is almost going to be 3.13 megahertz. If you remove 1 rupee from 1 million rupees, you can still call it as 1 million. Okay, so generally this bandwidth, this FL is in hertz, this is in megahertz. So megahertz minus hertz will always be in megahertz only. So that is why we say that bandwidth is roughly equal to FH only. Bandwidth is roughly equal to FH. So now you should be showing me these three values, the circuit and the graph. The graph, the circuit and these values. Come on, do this. Because in spite of having so much of experience also, if I also try to do this manually, I will never arrive at the correct value unless I use the dot measure commands. Come on, do this quickly. Yes, correct. Mithilesh is the first one. Come on, do this. Now these commands are not there in any book and all. Okay, so this we have just discovered it, and you also have to note it. So now for the amplifier, what did we do? We found out the gain, we found out the DC operating points, we saw everything, right? So tomorrow if there is some problem which comes across, and you know what is the circuit, what you can do is just change the values in this circuit and everything you will get. Gain, RI, RO, everything. Okay, good. Now comes how to calculate RI, R0, RI and RZ. So for this, if you want to calculate RI, then let's look at this. So what I did now is I just what I selected this as none. You can allow this to be whatever it is, and here you can write V test. Instead of V in, you can say test voltage. So you are giving a test voltage here. Okay, everything else will remain the same. Instead of, just rename this source to V test, and this node V in, you can write it as V test. Now if you simulate this thing, again you can see that the frequency graph has opened, and now in this I will add, I want to see RI. So RI will be V test divided by I test. V test divided by I test. So you can see this. Again, you can remove the phase plot, don't plot phase, and you can see the value here. And if you want, you can see this value in ohms by converting this value to linear. So you can see that RI is having some values. Okay. Now, what I want you to understand is that till date we used to like feel that RI is a constant, RI is not changing. But this 16.67 kilo ohms is actually the input impedance in the mid frequency. So if you just see this and move it across, you can see that this 16.6 kilo ohms is there in the mid frequency range. Okay, and similar circuit, if I like connect the same test voltage on the output side, which we did for our amplifier also. So here, yeah, now you can see that input I have grounded, and I have connected this test voltage on the output side, and instead of V out, I renamed that node to V test. So if I simulate this now, I can see here at trace, again I'll write V test upon I test divided by I test. You should be able to see this, and I'll say don't plot phase and probably convert this to linear scale so that I get the value directly in ohms, and this is what it is. So if you can see here, the value is like 3.3 kilo ohms at the mid frequency, and here if you see, the value is 16.6 kilo ohms. Okay, so whatever you calculate, you should be able to like verify that using the simulator, and once these calculations are verified, then with the help of the simulation result and your calculations, you can start physically building a circuit. Okay, so these are the two circuits which you will require to calculate Ri and R. So what I'll do is I'll give you this four circuits to practice. So AC, DC, RI, RO and transient. So can somebody confirm whether they have got this?
Sir.
So these are single stage amplifiers, but like this is measurement of RI, and here this is the circuit for measurement of R0. So obviously when the test voltage is connected on the output side, that would be the circuit for measurement of R0. So we have now means our understanding of dot tran, dot AC, dot DC, dot measure, how to use the formulas. This is just one circuit by means through which I can demonstrate this. Okay, there are many different circuits and many times there are very different requirements which we have to calculate. So you can give your own formulas and do the measurement the way you like. So more of that is there in the SPICE manual, LT SPICE manual, which is there on the LT SPICE website. But I don't know how many of you will actually go and read it. So I thought that let me include this commands which you will require to analyze any circuit later on. So is your understanding of now AC, DC, maybe some frequency response has become a little bit stronger?
Yes, sir.
So the same analysis we can do for like a common drain circuit or a common gate circuit also. So next class I will not explain these commands. So this time we could do only one circuit because I was explaining this the way in which you can use this. But in the next class we will solve the problems on common drain and source, common gate and common drain, and we will simulate this circuits. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you very much.